Are you a real estate developer seeking 100% financing for new construction, aka ground up construction projects? Are you feeling like finding a lender that would do 100% financing is like looking for a unicorn? Or are you a new private money lender trying to wrap your head around how to safely structure 100% new construction loans? Well, I hope that both of you are sitting tight and listening up. In this video, I'm going to explain what a lender like myself looks for in a borrower in a property to extend 100% financing for new construction loans. If you follow this exact blueprint, you shouldn't have any problems getting 100% financing. And if you are a new private money lender, hopefully this video will shed some light as to how to structure the deal safely. Please note, if you are a lender and you're not comfortable at doing this or don't have the proper training, do not do it. I'm Anitra and Preston, co-founder of Vertical Capital. We are a direct private money lender based out of New Orleans. We lend money to local real estate investors, and we teach investors how to become private money lenders. If you have been wondering how to get started with private money lending and don't know where to begin, well, look, join the #1 private money lending community on the internet. Here you will learn everything there is to start your private money lending business today. The link is in the description. Okay, let's be real, really real. 100% financing is risky, super risky. It poses a tremendous threat to the lender that he or she may lose a lot, if not all of their capital investment. The list of risks is longer than a laundry list for 2 houses.
Yeah.
For a lender to hold 100% of the risk and the borrower holds 0, it's really not wise in most cases. That's why it's hard to find a lender willing to do it. But could there be some exceptions? Maybe. But before we explore this itty bitty tiny maybe, I want to clarify a few things. Let's define a private money lender. For the sake of this video, when I say private money or hard money lender, I'm not referring to Lima One, Temple View, or Finance of America. I'm talking about your small local companies and individuals. This capital is most likely not tied to Wall Street, and it's not tied to any underwriting processes that mimic the bank. I'm talking straight cash. Okay, now that we had that defined, let's define 100% financing. I feel like the term gets tossed around so loosely that its definition kind of gets lost. And over the years, there have been several different versions of what this could possibly be. 100% financing does not mean you come to the table with absolutely $0. But depending on the lender, that very well may be possible. Generally speaking, 100% financing simply means you do not have to come to the table with a down payment. For an example, the property purchase price is $100,000, then the lender funds $100,000. However, there may be some costs associated with closing this loan. Those costs may include items such as property insurance and some other closing fees like origination points. But can some of these costs be covered by the lender, thus increasing your principal amount? Absolutely. Yes, they can. However, for most lenders, in order to include those costs, it's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. It's got to be enough room there, guys. Let's talk about a few requirements a lender wants to see in a borrower. Number 1, we're talking about real estate investing here, right? So the number 1 thing I would like to see is experience. I want to see at least 3 projects within the last 36 months that meet or exceed the requesting loan amount. If you're requesting $100,000, 100% financing for a new construction loan, I need to see 3 $100,000 projects or more than $100,000. in the last 36 months. And if you don't have any experience, more than likely, I'm going to request that you partner with someone who does. And other lenders may do the same as well. 2, we like to see a clearly defined exit strategy. I'm really looking for you to sell. But if you're going to keep the property as a rental, you got to have a qualified credit score, a credit score that meets their requirements, not mine. And I want you to have that person or that company identified as who's going to potentially take my loan out, right? Or who's going to potentially refinance me out. Cash reserves. This is super duper important. You can't ask for 100% financing and have zero money in the bank. That's like, I don't even know how to explain it. In the case of, and then the reason why we're looking for cash reserves is because, again, we're looking for if you have the money to cover any cost overruns, any increase in your construction, right? Once the loan is set, the lender's most likely not going to increase the loan cost. For me, I'm not going to do it. I'm already at 100%. For me to go higher than 100% doesn't make any sense to us. Then at this point, we'll be going backwards, right? So we'll be like at 110% or 115%. That absolutely makes no sense. Also, when we're reviewing your bank statements, I want to see if you can afford the actual loan. I want to see if you have the monthly payments. Generally, I'm looking anywhere from 3 to 6 months of you being able to make these loan payments interest only. Number 4, the project scope. The scope of the project has to match the experience level. If your experience is $100,000 in new construction, and now you're asking me for $300,000 new construction loan, it might not be worth the risk at 100%. That doesn't mean you wouldn't get the loan or I wouldn't approve you. I just probably wouldn't approve you at 100%. And I still would consider a few other options. I may ask you to jumpstart the project above or beyond a certain percentage, right? A percentage that I'm comfortable with. So that's just one example. And there's so many different other ways to kind of structure that. But again, it's not that you wouldn't get the loan at 100%. It's just there's some other factors that we would have to consider to kind of make it work and make it make sense. Some lenders do credit checks, we don't. But a poor credit score and history may deter you from getting 100% financing. Also, the land should already be owned. Most of the developers that apply for a new construction loan with us, they already own the land. It's highly unlikely that a lender would do 100% of the purchase and 100% of the construction. I'm not saying that there aren't any out there. There certainly are that would take into consideration. And in fact, we have in the past. We've only did it one time, though, where we did consider 100% of the purchase and 100% construction costs. But again, there was a lot of equity there, a lot of protective equity in which we did that. I can't say that we would do it again, though. Also, we need to have approved plans and permits in hand. So in other words, you need to have a lot of your pre-work or your pre-development work already complete. So let's talk costs. For 100% financing, sometimes the cost for these loans can be higher than if you put down a down payment, thus raising concerns or a possible decrease in their profits. This cost varies from region to region. It can start around anywhere from 16% interest only and 4 points or higher. The property type that we look for, generally single family, a duplex does fit, or a double is what we call them here in New Orleans, that fits into the scope. On 100% financing, I'm definitely going to ask for additional collateral. And so this is how, this right here, collateral is king, right? Additional collateral to basically reduce my risk is what I'm going to ask for. And me also here in Louisiana, I'm possibly going to ask for a bond for deed. I think it's called a contract for deed in other places. So I'm going to probably put a bond for deed on the new construction and a bond for deed on the cross-collateralization of the second property, right? And so I actually am doing that. I have done that. I'm doing that now for a gentleman. I'm putting a bond for deed on the actual new construction to be built, and I'm putting a bond for deed on a free and clear property, which I want to get to second, right? And so which leads me to the next thing. The additional collateral should not be a primary residence. I spoke about that in a previous video. Maybe I'll do a separate video as to why that's super, super important. And ideally, it should be free and clear. Look, this video and all the contents are based off my personal experience. Every lender has their own criteria. So don't go around telling your local lender, this is the way it's supposed to be done because a YouTube video and Anitra said, and you're not. Everybody has their own criteria. And now, for the good part, let's go into those receipts you guys like to look at.